Can't believe we missed preemptively.
I know.
You have to do it again, man.
Third comedy comes in threes, so it does make sense.
You got to wait for it though. It's got to come up naturally.
Yeah.
Just like Diana's going to say banana hammock at some point, and it's going to be hilarious.
All right, bet. Okay.
And
I
Katie's
missed
gonna
the
say-
joke. I missed
Oh, no.
the joke, so if you don't say it again, you're in trouble. Get it?
All right, puns are the lowest form of comedy, and I refuse to allow them airtime.
Unfortunately, that's like 98% of Anthony's material.
I love puns. Like
Then you're gonna have to rethink your life.
One of my favorite jokes is, "How do you find Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince."
Fresh Prince. That's
All right,
obvious.
stop. That all right. We're moving along.
Putting his foot down.
I thank
Putting
you
his
all
fresh
for
print down, one could say.
thank you all for being here. Before I burn this place to the ground, thank you all for being here. I would love to start every episode by introducing yourself first of all, and then the character you're going to play. I like podcasts that do that every episode because with people who are just listening to this on Spotify with 5 voices and character voices, it's a lot to like sort of keep track on. So Anthony, why don't you go first?
Hello, I'm Anthony. I'm going to be playing a half-elf bard named Arnold Stevenson.
Diana.
Shit, I wasn't prepared. My name is Diana. I am playing a half elf ranger. I'm new, so I have no idea what I'm doing. And the name is Meliora, goes by Mel.
Okay. Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am going to be playing Cerulean, who is a water genasi sorceress.
Very good. Garion.
I'm playing Gareth. I didn't stray too far from my original name. And it's just a human rogue, because I'm not very creative.
My name is Alex, and I will be the dungeon master and everyone else, which is great. So let's really quick before we jump into character talk, I want to touch on like your individual experiences with D&D or tabletop gaming at all. Just sort of like introduce yourself, and if you have any experience with playing these types of games, tell me a little bit about it. Same order, Anthony.
So I've only played one other campaign. I started, a few months before the pandemic began, and we were, getting into it. I was super excited. I had my character going. I loved it so much. I was doing a silly voice, and I was like, "Yeah, this is the best thing I've ever done in my life." And we got together, like 5 times, and then the lockdowns happened and everything happened. So I just never got to play again, and no one wanted to go virtual, and so I just had to abandon it completely. And I was mad. My whole life was in ruins, and everything was depressing, and I hated everything. And I was just like, I just need a friend, and like no one was there for me.
I just want to point that's why it was depressing, was that Anthony's D&D fell apart. Nothing to do with the pandemic or COVID or the people dying. It was 100% that his D&D campaign was torched.
We're compartmentalizing in 2022. Diana, tell me about it.
Oh God, not even a little experience, not even the smallest bit. My experience extended insofar as I made fun of it. I'm sorry, guys, I've made fun of it. But as has been pointed out to me, LARPing is worse. So I will now be making fun of LARPing, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Everybody point and laugh.
It's whatever.
Katie, do you want to chime in?
Yeah, okay. I have played 2 campaigns that have gone nowhere. And I'm psyched.
So I've done 2 campaigns. They're both the same dungeon master, who may or may not have been my father. That's an irrelevant detail. The first one, it started in 5th grade when I moved here, because I'm like, I want to make friends because I'm the new kid at school.
And so you picked D&D?
So I picked correct. I wrote a handwritten invitation. I wrote 4 of them, and I gave them to 4 of my friends, who will remain nameless for now, I guess. I don't know.
For their sake.
For their sakes,
please.
more than yours.
Please. One of them didn't show up, so he was shunned permanently. But that campaign went on until we all graduated from high school when we had our very dramatic last session. And then the other one we did was my dad's friends from work wanted to play, and they also had children. So then we did a slightly bigger party with like 7 or 8 of us. And that one was more like consistent where we actually met monthly. The one with my band of idiots was just kind of like whenever we were all free.
I've been playing for a long time. I have much experience. I've DM'd several campaigns. I've played a handful. I like playing the game because, like, as I'm sure you all know or are about to learn, like it's you kind of just show up and have fun. But there's a lot of really dope power involved in where I'm sitting currently, and I enjoy that power.
That's concerning.
So, yeah,
Don't
it's fine.
murder me.
And yeah,
No, I
Anthony, you're the
get
one
it.
that made the joke. Fuck around and find out, bro.
Do I need to have a
done.
backup character ready? Because that's what I'm feeling.
Oh, I can do that. I'm sticking around.
Backup character.
I'm gonna mess
Just-
around and find out a bunch.
Do you?
I'm just gonna write Junior next to his name and say he's his son.
Yeah, we're gonna go Snowball with like the Simpsons cat, just over and over, same
no.
character, Arnold Stevenson. That's-
Oh man.
Spelled slightly different every
yeah,
time.
but
All right, so let's talk. Let me introduce the setting and the campaign a little bit. We are going to be playing an official Dungeons and Dragons module called Waterdeep Dragon Heist. I did not write this material. I bought the book and am using the material. Thanks, Blizzard. Don't sue us.
But feel free to give us money.
You can sponsor us for sure. For sure, we all
In
love
fact,
that.
that's the opposite of suing us, and that would be greatly appreciated.
So this module is going to be a lot of joint storytelling, mystery solving, role playing. There will be combat, but it's not going to follow the framework of sort of those like Hallmark classic D&D adventures where you spend like 4 weeks crawling through maps to have a big like boss fight at the end. There might be a boss fight at the end depending on how smart you guys play it. So let's talk about our characters. Not me, because I am Legion, but we're gonna just like we're gonna chat a little bit. Just keep it like a high level summary, because like all of those cool details that your character is gonna develop and might already have, we'll get into those sort of as the campaign goes. But Anthony, tell us a little bit about your bard.
So my character's name is Arnold Stevenson. He is a sort of naive and optimistic musician who's on the road looking for inspiration for a great song. He's heard tales of, many adventures from other people and heard of all this magic and mystery and mayhem that happens in the universe, but he's never experienced any of it on his own. So he's out to try to, gain some experience so he can sing the best song that's ever been sang.
Hey, I love that. Diana, what can you tell us about Mel?
Look, I don't like that you're picking me second.
You're next on my screen.
It's just, what the fuck, Zoom, doing me dirty. Mel, what to say? Oh, she half elf, raised by a human mom. Dad is out of the picture. She's young. She's pretty naive. Decently trained is a ranger. She has a mentor that's kind of shown her the way. And she's going out and about in the world to, in many ways, just kind of prove herself, but also because she's interested in hopefully finding her father.
Okay, great motivations there. I love the clear goals. Katie, tell us a little bit about Cerulean. Also, fun fact: until this very day, I've not heard the word Genasi said out loud. I thought it was Ganassi.
The water ganassi.
Feel free to edit that out.
No, I will not. No.
So Cerulean is a sorceress. She got separated from her family when she was young, and then decided to join the Sorcerers Guild some way, but she's been separated from her sister, so she is trying to find her and reunite her beautiful Water Ganassi family. I just want to keep on saying Ganassi now, just to make you feel some type of way.
But please do. The more people that can make me look and sound like an idiot, the better. This is not a serious podcast.
Wait, the
Gary,
DM got something wrong? I did not see that coming.
This is the darkest timeline.
Oh man.
I apologize
Give it my
for
spotlight.
nothing.
My thunder. Anyway, so I play a human rogue. My rogue Gareth. He grew up in a wizarding village, which is strange for a rogue, I know. But rather than going to school and doing all the education stuff that wizards are very into, he just kind of decided to not do any of that. So as a byproduct, to kind of survive, he goes around stealing food and such. Now he doesn't really feel bad because wizards can create food with their minds, so he doesn't really feel guilty about it. However, he also can't read or do math, which is
at all.
No, he cannot. Because he didn't just not go to wizard school; he didn't go to regular school either.
Were there both in this wizarding village? Did they have 2 schools?
I mean, it's kind of like a grade system,
Oh, word.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
is like wizarding? Is that like community college? Like first you've got to graduate.
I feel
from
Well,
like
you
that's
know-
the
you know-
elective.
and then
You know
go-
how
It's an
you know how-
elective.
you know how you don't get your Hogwarts letter until you're 11? So unlike most rogues who's like an orphan or abandoned by his family or whatever, he has a great loving family in his wizard village, and his community looks out for him.
But
He
they
looks at
didn't
his
send him
community.
to school.
Actually, it was his choice. All
Yeah,
right.
if you had left it up to me, I too would not have gone to school as a child. These
But then
things
you would
should
have ended
not
up
be
in
left.
court with your parents.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is why children are not allowed to make these choices. Also,
Listen,
my
the
father's
logic adds
Asian,
up if
so
you
I
don't know
never
math.
ever would have been able to not go to school.
We're going to play the actual game now, which is going to be very exciting. Like I said, we've talked about this a little bit before, but we're not going to play for too long today. Just I want to get you in the world, and we'll have a couple of stuff happen and introduce the stakes, and then that'll be it for today.
Real quick, I wanted to preface this by saying Alex wanted me, probably all of us, but he told me specifically to have a different character accent from our regular voice. I can't do accents very well. It's going to be rough for the first couple episodes.
They're all going to be rough, and nobody's going to do a test run right now. I want it as we're going in
Raw.
cold. Yeah.
I have not planned. See, I repressed all this. And I just want to apologize in advance if it's inadvertently offensive. I don't
Oh,
mean that.
no.
I just
Okay.
can't. I don't do voices. I don't.
Well, you've got about a minute to think of one, and don't make it
No,
offensive.
I'm not gonna think about it at all. I'm just gonna just fight.
Tremendous.
See what happens.
Oh man. We're gonna work through it, I feel like the thing that I can contribute most to this entire campaign is my facial expressions.
Right.
The number of chins I can create. Yeah.
For an audio podcast, that's going to be great. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
You just have to narrate it. You're the DM. Like, oh,
Oh
now
yeah,
the
I'm
three
definitely
chins-
going to narrate.
The
Katie's
fourth
double
chin has made an
chin.
appearance.
I'm going to say the phrase "Katie's got a double chin," and I'm going to get canceled off the planet.
on the spot. The podcast won't
No.
even air before it happens.
Look, all you have to say, you don't have to say I have a double chin, just say Katie's chin's friend has appeared.
I'll
How
keep that in
many-
mind.
How many
A wild
friends
Katie's
does your chin have?
like 2?
All right, we're
Or
going to
one,
move
really.
along. Is everybody ready? I'm gonna weave some magic. For the podcast listeners, I just wove some magic.
You did.
And hit
All
your
right.
microphone.
Damn it!
Ooh.
All right, you ready?
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Spring dawns cold over the mist-eaten streets of Waterdeep. The city of splendors sits lost amidst the fog, an island cut off from the sword coast around it. The muted murmurs of fishmongers settle too close to the sea ward, pressing in like whispers from the corpses buried beneath the black water. In the market, a flotilla of brightly colored tents pushes against the looming fog. Spartan color bleached the color of neon bones, hollow in this early hour. Skulking ruffians scoot from tent to tent in search of fallen coin and bits of ware they can sell. The city graveyard spills from its high hill, graves crooked like the broken teeth of a massive skeleton, stretched and poised to consume the slums perched across the street. In a leaning house stacked up against a net of strangling alleys, through a window looking out onto trash and the slumped-over forms of last night's drunk, we see a room, cramped, dirty, and disorganized. A gnome slams through the door. He shuts it, locks it, and pins a chair beneath the handle. Grabbing a bag from the bed, he starts throwing whatever clothing he can get his hands on into it, spinning in tight circles through the room. He stinks of fear and blood. An open wound runs the length of his right arm, deep into the muscle, spilling carmine droplets like tears onto the hardwood floor. His clothes are damp with sweat, and his face is red. His packing only takes a moment. He stands in front of the open window, his chest heaving, pushing his fingers through his thinning hair over and over and over again. Quickly, he reaches inside a pocket. He pulls out a stone the size of a tangerine. Dark green, the blood running freely from his hand. It smears the surface of the stone, red ribbons dripping down the sides. The gnome stares at it, his breath freezing in his lungs, unblinking. A footstep on the other side of the door breaks him from his reverie. He stuffs the stone back in a pocket, shoulders the pack, and leaps nimbly out the window into the misty alleyways. But our story doesn't start with the gnome running for his life through the streets. Our story moves across the city, whipped by the cold wind into the castle ward. Our story settles beneath the shadow of the looming keep high on the hill, in a small courtyard, in a building with slate roofs and firelight slipping from the open windows. It begins where all the best adventures begin. It begins in a tavern. Welcome, adventurers, to the Yawning Portal. Whew. All right, I hated reading that so much.
No, you brought me there. I was there.
I love that though.
Although, out of all that,
Aw.
you had to go for his hairline, man. Like, for no reason. Like,
Rude, yeah.
he's
Throw a
running
shade
for his
at
life, he's scared,
window.
and he's balding.
I'm not going to cut it out in post. Okay. So the Yawning Portal is a tavern in the middle of Waterdeep, also known as the City of Splendors. It is a large 3-story building with slate roofs. It's got all the signs of a busy tavern in the early spring. It's currently raining in Waterdeep, so the roof is drumming with thousands of tiny fingers of rain, sort of like a gentle white noise. Inside the Yawning Portal, the main floor is occupied by a 40-foot wide hole in the floor with a waist-high stone wall around it. The main room of the Yawning Portal, the tap room, you could call it, has 3 balconies that each sort of lead into the other that are all open to look down into this hole or portal, I suppose you could call it. There is a massive bar along one wall with several bartenders bustling to and fro, getting ales and wines and whatnots for the guests. It is busy in the Yawning Portal this evening. It's just after work. The tables are bustling with gnomes and humans and half-elves and all sorts of beings and creatures drinking and having a great time. And we're gonna close on one of the larger tables in the tap room, where several beings are engaged in a game of cards. Gambling. There's a small pool of mostly copper pieces in the middle of the table, a handful of silver, but not that many. And it's 3 sort of sailor-looking people with sort of like canvas clothes and rough expressions and calloused hands. There is also a young rogue sitting at the table. Gareth, tell me a little bit about, or Gary, tell me a little bit how does Gareth look? Is he confident in this gambling game? Is he nervous?
It is a gorgeous display of false confidence.
Okay.
Title of my autobiography.
His beautiful poker face, terrible cards.
Okay.
He's not winning.
Seated next to Gareth is a young bard. Anthony, what is the bard doing? Is he playing?
Oh yeah, I want to be playing because I'm trying to get as many experiences as I possibly can. But I'd never seen a card before. I though do understand. My character does understand how numbers work. Doesn't know cards, so he's just like, I have 3 threes.
Okay.
9. That's so high. That's so many numbers.
So the rounds of this game go fairly quickly as everybody around the table, except for the bard, apparently knows how the game is played. So there's like a weird out of pace moment where everybody around the table plays a card, and then the bard sort of like hesitates a little bit, and then plucks one, and there's like a moment of confused silence after he plays it, and then everybody else sort of like goes around. The excitement, however, comes 2 rounds later when one of the sailors stands up and stares at Garrett and says, I think you're cheating, mate. Are you?
Oh man, that's a great question. Cheating? Me? What makes you think that?
You've done 1 3 hands in a row, and I've seen you not looking at your cards.
Oh, I beat you without even looking at my cards. You suck. You're terrible. Can't even prove I'm cheating either.
He slaps the cards out of your hands, and then his friends stand up and upend the table.
Oh, table flip it?
Table flipped. We're gonna roll initiative briefly. This is our first encounter. Bessie, what this means is you're gonna roll your d20 and add your initiative bonus to it, which you should see on your sheet next to your armor class, I'm pretty sure.
Very bold of you to assume that I really looked at the dice. They're in a 10. It's very pretty. I didn't take them out.
The biggest die.
Yeah,
with
I'm picking
most
that up.
dice.
Yeah.
Was that a
No,
nat
it's-
20?
Yeah,
Is
you,
it?
you're damn right it is. First roll of the campaign, it's a nat 20. 23
Okay.
for Garion.
Damn.
I got a 19 plus 1 too. That's
No,
awesome.
Katie, you did not.
I swear to God. Who? Can
I
you?
mean,
Can you? I don't want to turn it. Do
oh
you
my
see
god,
it?
it is. Wow. All right.
This is going incredibly for us. It's
Oh, it
all
moved.
downhill from here.
Yeah, we wasted all of our nat 20s on the first roll.
There it
What'd you
is.
get?
I didn't roll yet. Everyone was so excited that I
Okay,
I'm
roll
probably
that.
gonna
Roll
get
that.
whatever
D20, you're
a
fine.
bad one is. I'm gonna end up getting, and then I add to it.
Yes, you should have a initiative bonus.
I am struggle bussing. So the initiative bonus is +3, and that would. You're gonna think I'm making this up,
I'm not.
but I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
I believe
I
you.
had a 17.
So it is in fact.
A dirty 20.
Yeah, that's what I
Boy.
Wow.
Which, based on everyone's faces, is a good thing.
True.
That's very good. Anthony?
Yeah, I got 19 plus 1, so 20. Pretty amazing.
Incredible
Are you
first.
freaking kidding me?
I swear.
Alright,
that was
there it
amazing.
is.
You'll never
First-
do it again.
First episode name. All downhill from here.
Exactly.
I am actually upset with it. How I rolled a 4. So like not thrilled with this so far.
That's amazing.
All right, so we'll do Garion, what's your proficiency? What's your initiative score? What's
Plus
your bonus?
3.
Katie, what's yours?
0.
All right, so Garion's going first.
Yeah.
So, Garion, you are at the top of the order. The table is flipped. 3 sailors standing in your face. I will take this opportunity to remind all of you that you are good character. You are good characters, not bad guys. We will not be murder hobos. in
Okay, I
this
put away my
establishment.
gun.
There you go. That's great.
Darn it.
Also,
I'll put away my hopes and dreams.
you are also in the middle of a major city with a very well-rounded city watch and laws against murder. I'll just leave it at that. Now,
Lame.
self-defense is
Cringe.
different.
That's not murder. Notably not murder.
Notably not murder. But we also would like to pitch this podcast to like maybe families. So I don't know.
I'm gonna have to start cussing a lot less then.
No, you're fine. Garion, what are we doing?
Well, I assume if we're playing a card game, I assume there was like a pot on the table of
There-
various coins.
It went sliding across the floor, attracting the attention of, I'm going to say, everyone in the building.
I was gonna say, can I go for like a sleight of hand roll to see how much of the money I could like catch when he flips the table up?
You can, but it's gonna cost your action, and then you're not gonna be able to, defend yourself, etc. So it's the money or your face.
I know my character pretty well. Let's go for the sleight of hand roll.
I love it.
All right. Sleight of hand is that is a large bonus, +7. Sweet. We got 14, so 21.
Okay, as the table goes flying, you hear the sound of like tinkling coins, and your hand almost instinctively latches out and snags sort of like a fistful of them. And I'll let you, I don't know, slip them inside your shirt or something, but you caught a fistful of coins.
Nice.
After this, the coins kind of the table slams against the floor, the coins go scattering. And there's a moment in the tavern as everybody sort of like collectively peers over the balconies if they're on the upper floors or looks over from their tables. And there's a moment of stillness. And then the next 8 tables all leap out of their seats and there's a mad scrabble for coin as people start fighting for it.
Classic.
In one of the balconies upstairs on the first level, looking out over this, a water
Ganassi.
not ass, Alex. Ganassi looks out over the chaos. Katie, what are you doing?
So question, could I first question, only a waist-high wall around a 40-foot hole in a tavern where people get drunk?
Tell you what, give me
Thank you. That was bothering me.
give me a quick free perception roll, Katie, for asking the real question here.
17.
17 is pretty good. Okay, you've noticed a couple of details about this this hole in the floor. First of all, it's intentional. It's symmetrical. It is a perfect circle in the middle of this floor. It's not an accident. The wall is also intentional. It's of good make that was intended to last a long time. It's not haphazard construction. There is a rope on one side of the wall that is coiled up, and there are scratches along the sides in the rocks of the wall next to the rope. You can't quite make them out because you're a solid 20-30 feet away. But this hole is not like an accident.
Okay. All right. Can I realistically jump down from the...
I mean,
You
yeah.
gotta do a superhero landing.
Yeah, you got to do. I'm gonna require an acrobatics or something, or a very soft target.
Are there any particularly pudgy looking men?
Thank you so much. I've been waiting for somebody to ask. There are several.
Outstanding.
There is a table of what look to be merchants. So they were like fatter cats in the melee. They did not jump into the scrim. They're sort of hovering at their table, drinking. They have wine instead of the ale that everybody else is drinking, and they appear to be looking snoodily at this melee.
Do I recognize
Adjusting
any
their
of them?
monocles.
Each of them has a monocle. Actually, it's
Golly.
incredibly
Yeah.
douchey.
Do I recognize any of them by chance?
Being new to the city, you would not.
Okay. Just because I don't like people being snooty, I'm 100% going to jump off and attempt to land on the pudgiest, fluffiest looking man.
Absolutely, I love it. Roll a acrobatics check, please.
It's not going to be good. I wasted my nat 20. Oh. It's 13.
13's okay. 13's not bad.
Yeah.
You jump down, land on him. You manage to thighs and butt on his shoulders, which is sort of like the ideal landing scenario. However,
for you.
he does immediately fold like a lawn chair and send you sprawling over this table into the other two rather. So you are now tangled in a bungle of bankers, which is a lot of fun to say.
Nice.
So your next turn is going to be involved with them.
getting out of the prone position. Golly,
Yeah.
button. Okay.
Anthony, your table was flipped. You're still holding your cards, and there are 3 huge sailors looming in front of you and your recently found friend.
Okay, so how far away am I from them? Am I right beside them? Like they're standing
Yeah,
there
I mean
looking-
it was like a poker table, large-ish, but now that it's gone, you're amazed by how little space there is between you.
Right, of course. So I'm holding my cards. I look up, and so the man who's looking at Gareth is not paying attention to me at all, right?
No, he is not.
Not in the least. Okay. Can I try? I'm gonna try to get in between them and calm the guy down. That's what I'm gonna try to do.
De-escalation.
That's what I'm trying to-
I love that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to de-escalate the situation. This is my friend, so I'm like, so I just sit in front of him, and I'm just like, oh no, he wouldn't cheat. I know Robbie. I've known Robbie for a long time. He's my best friend. He's basically my best friend. I've known him. He is my family. I would never I've never seen him do a negative thing to anyone in all of the world. I know what you're thinking right now, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that you're not necessarily right in this situation. I'm so sorry that we offended you in any way. Look, you can have all of my 3s. I promise. And I
Okay.
offer him my.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay, do I roll a 20 and then give you?
That's a d20 plus your persuasion bonus.
So I got 16 total.
16 is pretty good. Okay. A little bit of the blood flushing this giant dude's face sort of goes away, and he looks from the rogue to you, and then to the rogue, and then to you. And then he says, "You know what? Maybe I've reacted harshly. My therapist has said that I need to work to control my emotions and not let them control me. If you give me all of your coin, I'll let you go. You and Rob. Next up is in the highest reaches of the room, I will say, on the tallest balcony, away from most of the other tables, a hooded and cloaked figure sits at a table by herself. Mel, seeing the bottom floor of this tavern sort of erupt into chaos, you watched the scrim of everybody leaping from their tables to scrabble at the or the coins on the floor. You saw a figure from the first balcony jump onto a table on the bottom floor and sort of like kick a bunch of wealthy dudes in the face for really no reason. And then you saw one of the people in the original fight sort of stand up and start speaking very quickly and just gesticulating wildly.
Gesticulating.
What would you do?
Would I do? I'm torn between saying fuck all y'all motherfuckers, I'm leaving, and also torn between I don't know. I feel like I feel like I would probably try to help
How?
if I am thinking aloud here. Well, it's clear that this duo are probably about to be robbed, although they kind of stole the money too, but they are about to be robbed, so I don't give a shit about the wealthy banker, whatever. They can make do. I guess I am going to maybe approach where those two were having their
Altercation.
back and forth altercation and
Okay. You are on the topmost floor, which means you're a solid 30 feet from the ground. However, there are a
bunch
number-
of soft bankers.
there are some like they're already like on the
Lined up.
softest part. Yeah, they're lined up. So like if you wanted to, but being on the topmost floor, you see where the pillars are sort of supporting the balconies. There are ropes and pulleys for quick beverage service for this tavern, so that the servers don't have to go up 3 flights of stairs. And you feel like you could fairly easily grab one of those ropes and make sort of like an acrobatic leap into the melee.
Totally. That's
Okay.
something I can do.
Give me a acrobatics check, please. You're going to roll that d20 again, and your acrobatics should be the first skill on your skill sheet. Yours is a +3.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
7. I rolled a 14, so 17.
17 is good. Okay, so you
Oh, yeah.
you grab the rope and you leap from the balcony and sort of like land amidst the tangled up forms of people sort of like grabbing for coin. You manage to land sort of between them so that you don't hurt them and they don't hurt you. And it's about 10 feet between you and this altercation happening in front of the well. You hear the sailor say, "I'll take all of your coin." That's sort of the moment that you fall into that bubble.
If it's I would probably yell to get their attention, I suppose.
Okay. Would you say anything or just sort of like a blah?
I'm probably I don't know. Is there a problem here? Something like that?
Okay, sure. One of the other sailors looks and makes eye contact with you and is sort of like gestures like leave it alone, like stay in your lane, bro. But in coarse sailor talk, so stick to your own gurney or whatever he says. I'm not a sailor. All right, bad dude's turn. And by bad dudes, I mean like everybody else in this world. So the first thing that happens is the bankers around Cerulean collapse to the floor, and they literally make like a hop, 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 hop sound as they
like a whoopee cushion.
Yeah, like that's the sound that like is forced from their lungs. It's just sort of like she's got like
whoopee cushions do you?
Life-size ones.
Cerulean has like an elbow around one of their throats and like her leg is thrown and she sort of like scoops the other one with a knee and she sort of like unintentionally but very comically takes all three of them to the ground.
Nice.
One of them manages to extricate himself first and stands and adjusts his doublet indignantly and says, "Well, how now, young lady? How dare you?"
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
You have spilled my wine on my doublet. And he sort of like flexes his doublet like he's trying to like show you the wine, but also like check out how cool this doublet is.
Okay,
What is
question.
a doublet?
How does
Oh,
Dublé?
it's like a shirt. It's a fancy.
Yes,
It's a
thing.
rich man's shirt.
All right.
So since I have shape water, how far could I push that?
So like the water, or how far am I willing to let you like? Are you gonna like
How many
tide
liberties?
jets this man's shirt?
No, could I pull it out of his shirt? How far are you gonna let me?
I tell you what, you can conjure some water and try and like steam jet that shit out of the fabric.
Well, so
Could you like
one of the
conjure a
things.
Tide pen?
Mhm. Oh, could I prestidigitation it?
Yeah, you can do that. Prestidigitation is a cantrip, which essentially it's like a small trick. Literally, it's like a door closes, a fan turns on, a wine stain goes away. Like it's literally like a tiny helper does an almost useless thing in every other scenario.
Sweet.
So as I'm saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, honey," and I just wave my fingers, and the wine just disappears.
Okay, he is impressed. Unfortunately, the man next to him says, "Witchcraft," and points an accusing finger at you. The third one, sort of like from his like crouching, he hasn't even bothered to get his throat out of your elbow. And so in a sort of like strained and wheezing voice, he says, "Timothy, money." And he like points at the scrim and immediately starts like dragging himself and
By the fingernails.
And me?
you across the floor as he's like pulling you towards this scrim. Before we go back to Garion, something happens. You all hear a deep-throated, horrifying roar, loud enough to shake what few tables are still standing on their four legs, loud enough to stop this like sort of like mad dash for the coin. And I think the only person who's close enough and paying attention is Dianna. Notices a huge green scaly claw reach up out of that hole in the floor and grab the edge of the well and it's immediately followed by an equally large and scaled arm. You see a flat reptilian face with eyes black as coal and yellowed, crooked teeth as a troll pulls itself up from this well and lumbers into the tavern. The lead bartender, a grizzled old man with mutton chops, because mutton chops are the coolest form of facial hair.
Especially if you're a bartender.
Especially if, I mean, I would argue for anybody, but he looks at this and yells, "Troll!
Troll in the dungeon!"
He leaps over the bar with a two-handed greatsword that he pulls from beneath the bar. Garion. Things are happening.
How close is the bartender in relation to like me?
The bartender's he's at the bar, so he's like 20. It's gonna take him a full move to get over to you.
All right. I'm gonna very like. Did the sailor talking to me react to the troll in any way?
Oh yeah, dead fear. Immediate like I need to be elsewhere.
Again with the false confidence, I'm gonna look at him and like, I would love to give you all my coin, but you seem to have spread it all over the floor, and now it's in everybody else's pockets. You might have to ask them.
Okay, he's not going to respond to you because he's busy like making sure his blood stays on the inside. Do you want to do anything regarding the troll? Would you like to just continue being flippant?
Cool. No,
yeah, my apologies.
Let's see. Ready my weapon. Place a hand on the hilt. Preparing.
Okay, very good. Katie, you are being dragged along the floor by a banker. He freezes as this thing comes up out of the well. So
where am I, like, in reference?
You're probably like on the same like side in diameter of the well as like the other characters and the troll. You feel like if you got your feet beneath you, it could be you could reach the troll or the other characters in one action.
Okay, but I need to spend my action getting disentangled, right?
No, the banker's not paying attention to you. So like when the troll came up,
So I
he
can pop
froze, and so now you can just like sort of like pull yourself out.
So I am going to. You said I could reach the troll?
Yep. If you hustle, yeah, you can. He's probably about 20, 30 feet away from you.
I'm gonna do something really stupid.
I love it.
I'm gonna run up to the troll. Tell me if I can do this. I'm gonna put my hand on its hand and cast Charm Person.
Okay, sure. You're gonna charm person the troll. I love that. As you get close to the troll, you notice that the troll didn't crawl up from this well or this hole alone. There are buzzing about it 9. I would describe them as like the worst mosquitoes you've ever seen. They're probably about the size of a grapefruit each, with bulging eyes and these sort of like larva-like bodies. Only 3 of them are actively buzzing and like flying around because 6 of them are sort of like bloated and there's like blood, like not from the room obviously, but like they came up with like blood dripping from their mandibles. They have not noticed you yet, though. I just wanted to throw that one in there for funsies. Okay. How does Charm Person work? Do I have to roll or do you roll?
Wisdom saving throw.
I make a. Ooh, let me tell you what. This troll's wisdom is not his strong point.
That's what I was hoping.
Okay.
I mean, it has to be low if you get trapped in a tavern.
14.
He saves. Yeah, he makes a save. It's 13.
Unfortunate. Okay. The troll looks down at you, sort of like I would say caressing his hand, sort of like a really nice moment where like 2 friends on a bench like put their hands on top of each other.
Like a sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not thrilled.
Oh man, don't fling me too far.
He's going to fling you. Yes. I'll tell you what this troll's strong suit is.
Oh,
His
no.
strength.
Yeah, you want to know what mine isn't as a sorcerer? Living.
Is it 17?
No, not even
Okay.
close.
So for the second time in as many minutes, you find yourself flying through the air. Unfortunately, this time is not of your own volition. and you crash
Into one of
into
the
the-
bankers.
That'd be lovely.
You know what? Yeah, you fly back into the bankers again, like just as he like one of them is turned to the others, like, Timothy, look, my doublet, there's no more wine on it, and then you just like slam into him, push him
Another
back
glass
into
of
the table,
wine.
and there's another
A
glass
second
of wine
glass
on
of
the
wine.
table that like collapses into him, and you hear the high pitched screams of my doublet as you fall down. Anthony,
Do I take any damage or am I good?
nah, you're fine.
And
All
that
right.
nice squishy banker there.
He is very. They're. I mean, they're plump.
Times
They're soft
two.
living.
Just a very nice DM that doesn't want to kill me first.
So- So I'm still hanging out next to Gareth, and our attacker basically turned and is he's not fleeing, but he's not paying attention to us any longer, right?
Actively considering his escape. Yes, you are no longer a priority.
So, as someone has no experience whatsoever with trolls, I look over at my wizard friend and I say, "You're the smartest person I know. Is that a good monster or a bad monster? What do I do?"
If I'm the smartest person you know, you are in big trouble, my friend.
So bad monster, got it. Bad monster, okay. So I also have charm person. Do I need? Let me see. I'm not within 30 feet of this. Am I within 30 feet of this troll?
You
I don't
are.
know.
You are sub 5 feet, my friend. He came out of this well, like
So I'm like, that is
adjacent to
the-
you.
That is the big bad monster. I'm going to do my best to make him our buddy. I'm going to make him my new best friend, just like I always do. So I'm going to cast charm person.
Okay.
Tossing me to the side, eh?
Oh damn. That
on,
is
roll well.
a 6. Okay, he's not gonna save out of that one. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for listening to Critically Stupid. I am, of course, Alexander James. I don't know why I gestured or posed like I am performing an opera, but maybe I am. You don't know me. I'm a man of many talents. All right, I'm sorry. Just a couple of announcements, and I'll let you get right back to the show. We are, as always, playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, an official Dungeons & Dragons module written by Chris Perkins, Scott Fitzgerald Gray, Kim Mohan, and, hang on, Michelle Carter. If you are interested in playing D&D, I highly recommend that you go to dnd.wizards.com. Check out all the great products they have on there. I've literally never had a bad experience, so yeah, go check them out. They're great. If you would like to be a character in the show or have your name used as a character in the show in one of our upcoming episodes, you can tweet us at CritStupid. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you think our jokes are dumb. They probably are, so like, that would be good for us to know. Not like we don't know already, you know what I mean? But yeah, I got a lot of story coming up. I got a lot of names that I will need easy access to. So yeah, tweet at us. We'd love to hear from you. I think that's all I got. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you're enjoying. I'm going to let you get back to it. All right. I love you. Bye. So, charm person works like this person.
For now.
The enemy turns into like your friend, essentially, an amicable person, as long as I'm pretty sure he's not attacked.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Attacked by
so
one of us
he-
or attacked by anyone?
I think anybody he perceives as being on, like he is now on your side, if you want to think about
Okay,
it that way.
sweet.
So anybody on your side attacking him, such as, I'm going to say it, the guy with the greatsword actively barreling towards the troll.
Ah, lit.
Anthony, I'll give you. So you've charmed the troll. I'll let you do like one like shouted like request or like a blah. What do you tell him?
Okay. Okay. Hang on. So I will say it does say he's charmed by me until the spell ends or until you or your companions do anything harmful. But right now, isn't my only companion Robbie?
As it pertains to like the group, like as you see it, yes.
Oh,
As
but
this
we're
troll
going troll
sees it,
Perception.
Okay.
the
Yeah.
troll sees all of you as meat.
Fair enough. Okay. That makes
Uh-huh.
sense. Okay, so I just shout, "Just kidding, that's my friend."
Okay. You see a moment of like stuttered confusion in the troll's eyes. Like he came up hungry and is now like, wait, but these guys are okay. He's reevaluating his life choices, which is going to take us to Dianna. You're standing probably like 20 feet away from where this troll came up. You saw a water genasi sort of like run the well and like slap a hand on the troll's hand and mutter to herself, and then the troll like backhanded her back across the dining room, and then the bard sort of like did the same thing but better.
This troll is very progressive.
Do I just attack it? Can I just like go?
Yeah, of
for
course.
it? Do I
Yeah.
just like?
You can.
Yeah.
You've got a longbow or 2 short swords that you can attack with. So you can stay. You can keep your distance and shoot arrows at it, or
I
you can.
prefer if there is distance. I prefer to keep distance.
Okay. Roll your d20. You're going to add 5 to it for your bow shot.
15.
Is that with the +5?
Yes.
Okay, that will hit. Roll 1d8. That's the die with 8 sides. Looks like 2 pyramids on top of each other.
And I'm sorry. Do I add anything to it?
Yes, you're going to add 3 to it.
7.
Okay, wow. Okay, good.
Nice.
So your arrow sort of like hisses through the air and buries itself like actually in this troll's like sort of like shoulder. And trolls, you would know as a ranger, have sort of like naturally very thick hides. They're not creatures that wear armor. They're creatures that have armor. But even still, your arrow splits this creature's skin almost like a hammer splitting leather. And you hear like a loud crack as the dry skin separates and blood starts flowing. The 3 mosquitoes that are not like bloated start feverishly flying around as they smell the scent and sort of like start whipping through this whole tavern trying to find it. The first thing that's going to happen is the bartender is going to shout sort of in general, light it on fire. And he points and you see that hanging from the rafters are sort of like oil lamps lighting up this place. And he's telling you essentially that if you can spill some oil onto it and perhaps light it aflame, trolls have a natural aversion to fire.
Being on fire.
Despite saying that, however, this man leaps up onto the wall and then without a single fuck throws himself across the empty space of the well to attack this troll. And he rolls it. Yeah.
What a man.
And he rolls a nat 20. So he buries his greatsword into this troll's back and is holding himself above the gaping abyss of this well with his sword that he's just buried in this troll's back. There is a commotion behind you as somebody wades into the melee of bodies who are now, everybody's sort of like running towards the door, but now there is a person sort of like moving forward through that. Garion, you are at the top of the order. Oh, the sailors have fled. By the way, they were first out the door.
Okay, sweet. How far am I from the fire tool that's on the wall somewhere? A torch, I assume.
It's hanging from the ceiling, like on roped chandeliers.
Oh, word. My equipment here says I have 2 daggers. How hard would it be to kind of throw a dagger, cut the rope? Is it a rope or a chain?
It is a rope.
Okay.
It'd be a impressive throw, but I mean, not impossible.
Yeah. The more I think about this, the less feasible it seems. I'm gonna try to like grab onto the beverage carriers to see if it can like pull me up so I could go for a leap, because I feel like that's gonna be more likely than just like chucking my knife and hoping it works out for me.
Yeah, so the ropes they're weighted by sandbags, sort of like an easily pulleyed situation. So you feel like you could do that action movie, like if you like snap the rope and hold,
cut off.
It's gonna throw you into the air.
Love it. That's acrobatics roll for sure, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Wait, what is your goal? Are you trying to grab onto the shit? This is going to just launch you into the air, empty canvas.
My goal once in the air is that I'll be able to grab onto the rope with the flame on it.
Okay.
+3. Love these odds.
Believe in you.
This is wow. First one of the session, baby. We got a nat 1.
No. Okay. You.
It's actually a 4. Keep in mind.
It's not. If it's
It's
okay.
it's in that one.
Bessie, you need to know this. If you roll a 20 on the d20, it is a critical hit. That is the best you are ever going to do that thing. If it is a 1, it is the obviously the absolute worst, and you don't get like it's you don't get to like, oh, it's actually a secret 4. Like if it's a 1, I have to know it's a 1 because the rogue goes flying through the air. Now, I will say, Gareth, because of your well-crafted plan, there's a lot of momentum behind this abysmal throw.
Yeah.
So you do actually slam into the chandelier a little bit and jostle some of that oil.
I'm now covered in oil.
You then fall straight down into this gaping portal. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
All right. 16.
16. Okay. I will let you grab the edge of the well. You sort of like hit it, and then you can like hook a hand onto it. So you are dangling over the edge of this portal, which makes 2 people, for those keeping count, hanging over the edge of this well.
Didn't exactly go as I planned.
Katie,
I say that out loud. That's what my character says.
All right.
Okay, so am I up?
Yes, you are up. And
Okay.
you're actually now closer to, I will say you're closer to where the rogue made a meaty thwack as he hit the edge of this well. And you can now see 2 of his like little hands over the edge.
Okay, and to help him, would I have to use my action?
Yes.
Dang it!
Okay,
You don't have to help him. You can ignore him. Fuck him. What does he mean to you?
No, she would. She'd help him.
Don't sound too
Okay.
bummed out about it. Damn.
I want to attack. I've made such a good impression of myself already, you know? I run over to him and I immediately grab like his forearm, hoping that he's going to grab mine back and try to yank this dude out of this well before he just falls to his death.
Okay, give me a straight up and down strength check.
Remember, I'm a sorcerer.
I mean,
This is not good. I got a 12.
all right, that's enough.
Okay.
Garion, you are pulled out of the well.
Love it.
Back
at it.
Could I cast? I have dancing lights. You know, the orbs of
Yeah.
light. I want to cast dancing lights in the troll's face. Like
okay.
I'm talking.
Like a-
Put
like
2
a
of those
flashbang?
orbs. Put 2 of those orbs right on top of his eyeballs. I can create up to 4.
Okay.
So I want to put 2 of them straight on his eyeballs.
Do you have to roll for it, or does this just happen?
Just happens. It's a utility.
Okay. Oh yeah, it works super well. This troll recoils with like a surprisingly high-pitched screech of pain, and sort of like windmills a little bit as the back of his knees hit that well, and then he goes ass over tea kettle backwards,
Ooh,
uh,
like Darth Maul.
and disappears into the depths of this well.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Nice going.
Yeah, you guys did great. The
Credits.
Sturges with
Roll
the
credit.
Yeah, we're done. We did it. Great job.
Campaign over.
The Sturges sort of buzzing around him also descend into the depths. And there's a moment of like still silence. You are the only, there are 5 of you on this bottom floor. There's still a couple of patrons at the top who felt like they were either too drunk or not scared enough to run.
Or a healthy
like
combination.
Everybody is sort of like watching you. And then like a voice from the top goes, "Where's Durden?"
What?
And then a second later, you hear like a muffled thud, and then a voice echoes up the well and says, "Somebody throw that goddamn rope down here."
The guy on his back. I forgot. Am I close to the rope since I'm close? Okay, I immediately run to the rope. I'm so sorry, honey. And I throw.
Cool. And the bartender climbs back up the rope, pulls it up behind him, and says, "Thanks."
You're so welcome.
And goes back to his bar. Everybody sort of like starts putting the room back together. You notice there's not a whole lot of like like pearl clutching and gasping. This doesn't seem like something that hasn't happened before. People start righting the tables and sort of getting back to their drinks. The waitresses start like immediately reserving and repouring, and it takes like maybe 5 minutes before the room turns back to almost unchanged with the same bustling and drinking and carrying on. The only difference being behind Arnold, a voice, somebody clears their throat, and you hear a voice saying, "Excuse me," and you turn to see
He's a
you see a short man with sort of like a bristly black beard and a comically floppy hat, staring up at you, and he says, "My name is Volo Thump, and are you, pray tell, adventurers?"
We are now.
Adventurers. I don't know if you saw what just happened here, but I kind of took care of a troll a second ago. Not only that, but I still have 9. Do you know anyone else with 9? Because I'm the best there is in the business.
Go fish.
So I'm still holding these cards. I don't know what's going on. I just saw a troll. I didn't get to interact with it at all.
Actually, you charmed it pretty great.
I charmed it
pretty well.
I'm sorry. The tide.
I was gonna say, okay. So I look at this guy and I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but my best friend is a troll, and if anyone's an adventurer, it's probably me. I haven't done much, I haven't seen much, but I have had 2 best friends now, and they're both awesome. One's a wizard, one's a troll. Let's do this.
Not a wizard.
I find myself in need of adventurers. My friend is missing and I need help finding him. Will you help me? I'll give you 10 gold pieces just to consider it. Done.
Am I within range? Can I hear?
All of you are within earshot, and he is actually talking to each of you because he saw you all sort of like take part in this.
Or attempt to, at least.
Or try.
At the 10 gold, I like pipe up and I say, I can always be convinced to help find a friend.
Meanwhile, Gareth already has like a Sherlock Holmes hat and like a magnifying glass.
This is most excellent. And he sort of gestures. He's got like a table in the corner. He sits down. He all sort of like pulls you away from the riotous noise through the tavern. And he says, my good friend is missing, and I met him for drinks last night, and he was supposed to meet me this morning for brunch, a boys' brunch we call it, but he didn't show up, and I need help finding him. I fear the worst. I don't know what you've heard about our great city of splendors, but the street war between the Zentarim and the Xanathar's Guild, it makes me nervous. My friend, he's not the smartest. And
Can you repeat the guild names?
Yes, it is the Zentarim and the Xanathar Guild are the 2 names that he said. You don't worry if you don't know what those are. It's fine.
This down? Should I be writing this down?
No, their note takers are the best players.
I'm a prolific note taker. I can't not do it because I have a crap memory. So
mine is rich, especially post-COVID. I'm gonna rely on your notes.
That's totally fine. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that name."
No, I will remember nothing.
You will ride your note tails.
Like,
that's right.
Nice.
The note tails.
Where the hell did my D4 go?
Livid. Garion, stop fumbling around the floor. We already lost you for like 30 seconds.
I dropped my D4 and it just vanished. I dropped into the shadow realm. I don't know where that went.
So you all sort of pull up to this table, and Volo lowers his voice. He almost hunches his shoulders and brings it in a little bit. It says, "My friend must have been snatched from the streets. I tell you, it's not safe out there."
What's your friend's name?
His name Floon Blagmar.
Floon Bagmar? Is that what he just said?
Floon Blagmar.
And you're sure this Floon fellow didn't just stand you up?
No, he's a dear friend. Wouldn't do that to me. My name is Volo Thump, and people hold their brunch dates with me. I was going to
Alright.
take him to Cecilia's down the street. They have an amazing shrimp French toast.
When he, did you just say shrimp French toast?
That's what I said. Cecilia's house special, the shrimp French toast.
So this Flume, I think I might have met him. He said he was
Oh.
supposed to come here too. When's the
Flume?
last time you said you saw him?
He and I met for drinks just last night. We met at the Skewered Dragon down at the Sea Ward. I like the Sea Ward because the drinks are strong and the drinks are cheap.
Why'd you come here?
Because the drinks are good.
Fair enough.
So Volo Thump Getarm, as he introduces himself to you, is a writer, best known for his Volo's Guide to Monsters, which he has published out in this world to great acclaim. And he is currently working on the sequel, Volo's Guide to Spirits and Specters. And he is, he says, doing a tour of the city's bars for research purposes.
So I look around at the group and I look at them and I say, are y'all wanting to do this?
So my character, when he hears Floon, says, "Oh my gosh, Floon was my other best friend. I forgot I had 3 best friends. I had 3 best friends. It was Floon, it was Robbie the Wizard, and it was now that troll. I need to." I know that I don't have the tattoos yet, but I'm working on getting a tattoo of all of my best friends. That's my plan in the future. I'm going to get all of your faces, but Floon is definitely among them. So if he's missing, I am on board, and I'm sure all of my other friends are on board too. And I turn around and I'm like looking to see all my other best friends that are behind me.
Personally, I've never actually met Floon, but I have met Gold Pieces, and I love to make their acquaintance.
So Volo, you said that the last time you saw him was at the Steward Dragon? What did you say?
The Skewered Dragon, like a shrimp skewer.
Oh, skewered. Okay. Okay, the Skewered Dragon
Another house
last night.
specialty of Cecilia's. They have a magnificent shrimp skewer.
Well, you know, I'd really love to help you, but I don't know about this fella's best friends. You know, I don't know that I'd call us best friends, but I'm willing to take that step. What about you, homegirl? And I look at just the cloaked wonder.
Oh yeah, Diana, are you still rocking the cloak? Like, have you shown your face?
I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry, Mel, not Diana.
no. It's
Can I
just-
tell she's definitively feminine?
I don't know. Can you, Mel?
Yes.
Okay, because I'd totally just address you as homegirl. So
No, it's cool. I mean, I address Anthony's homegirl all the time, and it's fine,
For real.
so it's not weird. It's not weird at all. Not weird at all.
I prefer when people say "you go, girl" when I'm in battle. So
Nice. Okay, that's good
well,
to know.
that's
That's
happening,
good information.
and I expect your next tattoo to be of my face.
once I see it, when you reveal yourself,
No, I mean
Just
literally.
get a
my
just
face.
get
No,
a
she's like,
tattoo of a cloak.
The
Down
cloak.
on my face.
Yeah. No, literally my face on your chest. I think I not meet him too, Rusty?
You did.
I did meet him. That's right. But I guess I'm trying to figure out where on the
Yeah.
timeline. I'm not 100%.
the wizard and I met him too. He just forgot because he was
I-
focusing on gold. Yeah. that's-
Yeah. That
Oh.
might have been real life Garion forgetting, and not the
Yeah.
character.
Gotcha.
I saw it
The
on
timeline. The
Alex's face,
timeline.
and I was like,
the timeline, Diana, is probably, I would say, like 3 or 4 days. Not a huge chunk of time. You met him sort of like in the vicinity of the city, and then went to Waterdeep. So like
Okay.
it is entirely likely that he just got there first.
Okay, but I've seen him like recently.
Yes, and have met him and had like an experience with him.
Well, when we saw Floon, there were some werewolves. Do you guys remember werewolves? Did you see werewolves?
did you just say
Pretty sure those were
werewolf?
just regular dogs, but yeah, I know what you're talking
Were-
about.
Were they also your best friends?
Oh, I tried my best.
I'm just
As the wizard
noticing
will
the trend.
attest. I
Yeah, for something called man's best friend, they're very hostile.
Very true. Tried to gnaw on my leg, didn't let it. I'm not going to transform. Nobody worry. No concerns here. However, what I did notice is that Floon is a terrible fighter, and it made some very mad wolves. So I don't know.
Overall coward.
Yes.
Well, when I met him, he was quite drunk, if I'm recalling correctly. So it's possible that he just drunkenly stumbled off.
So is everyone thinking that this is something that we want to do? Wizard fella, you seem like you'd be the least likely to.
He's not a wizard.
Thank you, not a wizard.
Listening.
But
That's
the Floon did save me from pursuers, we could say. So I feel like I owe him a favor at least.
And I would do anything for Floon, my best friend.
Well,
Do you know what
Mr.
the word
Volo-
best means?
I know many
so-
words. I did go to school. No
Oh,
offense.
shit.
No offense.
Wow!
In fact, I went to the best school in my village, which it was the only school, but also number 1.
So, Mr. Volo, you said that you and Floon have been friends for some time.
We're dear friends. Yes.
All right. Do you know if he had wandered off, like Miss Cloaked Wonder said he could have? Do you know where he might have gone? Is there anywhere that he frequented outside of the Skewered Dragon?
He much enjoys the imbibing of various elixirs, we could call them.
Yes, I
and
noticed that.
spends a lot of his time in his father's coin in the Sea Ward. I think if you would maybe inquire down around the Skewered Dragon or the like shops, you might have seen somebody who's seen something, who's seen somebody. I'm not an adventurer like yourselves, but you get my drift.
Trust me, I'm very familiar with his father's coin.
Mr. Volo, I think that we're all in agreement. And I look around and look at the my best friends.
I was just thinking that too.
And I say, do you need a contract or something? Or are we just gonna go by a firm shake hand?
So he holds out he pulls a
Shake
small.
hand. I had a stroke.
Are you okay?
Oh, it's contagious.
Handshake.
Do you want to take another run at it, or you feel pretty good about it?
Oh my gosh. Why did I just say shake hand?
I kind of like that.
It's too late now. We're not cutting that out.
No, absolutely, we're keeping that in. He
That was
reaches
great,
in.
Matt.
He reaches inside his sort of like voluminous cloak and pulls out a small leather bag that clinks merrily to your ears. And he holds it. Or he puts it in the center of the table. And he holds out his hand. He says, "A firm handshake would do. I'm so glad I can rely on you to find my good friend Floon Blagmaw."
So I put my hand out
Yeah.
and I shake his hand.
And I'll make the executive decision to take the pouch and not shake the hand. I have priorities.
I look at him and I message him in his head.
Gonna Twitter DM me and
I was gonna
Mhm.
say you just send him
D&D.
a quick DM.
And you see my mouth move, but you hear nothing if you're not Gareth. But in your head, Gareth, you hear, I saw that. And trust me, I'll make sure I get mine.
But I respond to this out loud. I'm not a monster. It's not all for me.